I have no idea what that is saying because it is, just go through the lashes here again. And then through the brow. You know, it's funny because, you know, I'm sitting here getting ready and I'm working from home. I'm not going to see anybody. I'm not even going out today for lunch, probably. I'll probably work through lunch since I'm doing this right now because it's after breakfast. Even though I would have liked breakfast out. I meant to go Chick-fil-A and get me some little hash browns. I love those things. They're basically little flat tater tots, which is one of my favorite snacks. That's interesting because if you'll notice, the brows almost have like an orangey brown in the front, but that's from this. It's not from the coffee bean color. So it's interesting, but I was able to use it to line with, so that's good. Oh, we were going to use this this green just as a color to line. And I'm going to put it more in the front, like that, and more on the top to kind of pick up the color. Yeah, this is a fun color to use. And this would be a fantastic color if you're wearing this color, like mint green. And I have that color both in jewelry and a top that I have. This would be a great little color to add to the makeup look, whatever it is that day, just to pick up that color. And it's nice. Now, if you wanted to calm that down a little, you could run a brown underneath it. Or just leave it as it is. I think what I'll do is run the brown underneath it, and what I'm going to use is the Cafecito, which is right. It's the probably a little more red brown, but we're going to run that right under it, right up to the brow, and then we are going to blend that out. There, and see, that way it's not so green. So now I'm just going to take a, actually this is my crease brush, but it's very, very pointed. And so I'm going to use that just to blend that out a little bit. Just close your eye so the powder does not get in your eye. Literally close your eye. And just run back and forth. It's basically going to run through your lashes as well. Now, I also have really bad bags under my eyes today, y'all, so definitely going to need some concealer. But one of the other things that I was going to use is this strawberry milk color as a blush. We'll see how that goes. That's fine. And see, it's just a very subtle difference, especially when you start from the top of your brow. So touch this like that, and then on your cloth, just touch it, just to get that initial powder off so you don't have a big powder chunk on your cheek when you use this. And go smile and go down like that. And that way you don't have a line, and then come across it to kind of build it. And the bridge of your nose and the top of your chin. And then in front of the bronzer color. Then you can kind of blend it through once you've got the initial part of it off the brush. Oh my gosh, while I'm sitting here, look at that, y'all. A little irritated bumps coming up while I'm sitting here. I'm just going to hit it with my nail. I know it's a weird thing to do, but that may calm it back down. And then any leftover, just run it under your chin. Okay, and again, if you feel like that's too strong, like if you're just like, oh, that's a lot of color, you can either use powder or just clean off your blush brush and just kind of go back over it and kind of get rid of a little, kind of hard, just kind of, you're basically taking some back off is what you're doing. I really do have bad bags under my eyes or color under my eyes. So what are we going to do when that happens? Best thing to do is use a color corrector pen. Or do I even have it in here with me? I've got so much stuff in this again, y'all. I keep doing that, building up what's in this. I don't see it, so I'll just use a regular concealer, which I know I do have right here. Actually, I'm going to use the DOMINIQUE Cosmetics. This is a little sample that I got, but it's a good one. It's great to keep in your purse, by the way, especially for it. This is the Bye Bye Under Eye, and the color is neutral medium. It's just a basic neutral. So first of all, I'm going to put that right on that little jet. Opposite. So excited. Okay. There. Alrighty, and then with what's left over, actually I'll add a little more. We'll just dot this side and dot that side. And basically right where that color is. Now, because I'm truly blue today, it probably would have been better if I had used a color corrector first, meaning some sort of a orangey color to counter that blue. Would have been the best thing to do. Because I feel like it didn't help that much. There we go. Yeah, I kind of feel like the big mistake was using all that product that was more for finishing than to make an eye. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think this is a good eyeshadow look? I've blended and blended it, so it should be whatever it's going to be. Okay, so let's finish it off, and that way you can tell a little bit better what it would look like. So let's first of all do liner. Okay, so we're now just backfilling on the lashes to make it a kind of a more of a finished look. Same thing over here. A little bit more of a finished look. And again, as we are putting on our makeup together in the mornings, I think it's a really good time to also share and start the day instead of with any fear, especially with all that's going on. Maybe with some comfort that, you know, God is still in control. And regardless of what happens and when, we know as Christians the end times are coming. And so we don't know if this is that or if this is just another virus, if it's a government control takeover, some people have said. You know, what if it's an attempt to quarantine us and take us over and, you know, make us have vaccines and be injected with things we shouldn't be injected with. That's not really what we're being told that it is. And that's always a possibility. That certainly has happened in the past. Not just in other governments in the world. And we never really know if it's true or if it's not. You know, there are people who say that it is are written off as crazy conspiracy theorists. People who say it's not true are told that they're blind to the facts. The thing is, I don't think we can live in fear either way. I think we have to trust God. So the best thing that you can do is learn His Word so that you know His voice. And as we enter those end times, we may be required to suffer or be controlled. People say that would never happen. Well, of course it has. It's happened lots of times in governments. You have a controlling government nation. Many places around the globe already, communist nations. And by design, those communist nations are controlled by their governments. So that's not unheard of at all. We're not one of them, and I hope we never will be. But it may be much bigger than that one day. Regardless, we can't live in fear. You know, our predecessors in Christianity dealt with that. They were sought out and killed. So, and that will happen again. So before the church is raptured, we'll likely suffer first. Not suffer God's wrath. That's who's left behind. But while we're here, there still may be things that we have to go through. It's certainly happening in other nations where Christianity is not allowed to be practiced. So there, it does happen. And I'm not saying that to scare anyone. I don't think you should let yourself be scared. And if you are scared, get around another Christian and y'all pray. And ask God to replace fear with trust in Him. And I know sometimes that's hard. And that's why He does call for us to help each other. So, and also most of all, get alone with Him and ask His Spirit to give you peace, and He will. We can't focus on what the end will be like, or if this is part of that. It may be leading up to it. It may just be another notch in the rung that's leading up to it. Or it may be the beginning. We don't know. But regardless, there'll come a day when we will know that that is what's happening, and it will be frightening. And we will still be called not to live in fear. Because we trust what we don't see. And there's going to be a lot that we do see that is very unnerving. So we trust God no matter what. And so this is the look without mascara. Trust God no matter what, okay? And everything will be okay in the Lord. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!